And so the question is now, I have changed the title. In the beginning, we had 15 or I think 18, 19 sessions on the enemies of the mind. Whether you say enemies or the impurities of the mind, we have been discussing. And we have reached to a point of self-inquiry. So now I retitled our sessions as a journey to the self-inquiry. What self-inquiry leads to? Self-inquiry leads to self-knowledge. So self-inquiry starts from the basic questions. How dare you say I don't know I am? That is your false I. When you use that statement, how dare you say? Then we are already identified with the body, mind, intellect, and ego, and we are gone. Then what Buddha says, samsara is suffering. Because the false I creates the world around me. What is the world? World around me, of place, of recognition, of wealth, of being rich, of being stressed, of being into anxiety, of duality and a conflict, all belongs to the false I. Oh, then what is the real self? Real self is all pervading of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and knowledge. The way the sweetness of the sugar never disappears, whether you put into a jar or a big box or a bottle or a lemon water, the sweetness never, same way that yourself never complete the sentence. So, how do you find the journey? What changes have taken place in your life if you are really practicing and reflecting? You have to ask yourself. Every day you have to ask. Every day. Until the question will dissolve by itself. You say, no, don't ask me this question. I'm there. Did you reach your home? You are already at your home. Don't why are you asking this question? Are you see that? So our clarity has to be there. That clarity should not come by blind belief. You have long beard, so I believe. You know it will not work. And what about those who cannot grow their beard? You don't believe them? So we have to be extremely logical. We have to see that there is no element of blind belief enters into our life. I can point out Terry's blind belief. No, 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 I'm suffering from an illness. No, you are not suffering. Your body is suffering. Get rid of the blind belief. And then work on your life, my friends. Can you meditate on autopilot? Answer is big no. If yes, then you are not learning anything from the session. I know out of 10 million websites which claims 1 minute of instant meditation and one beard guy who is saying you have to analyze, you have to find out. Meditation cannot work on all. How many times you were anxious, upset, awfully busy since the last session? That is the point. Shake your head. Start with this self inquiry internally. Nobody knows. Raise your awareness, and you are already on the path. I believe you are getting it. You are understanding. What is the most important in the journey of self knowledge? Self inquiry. We have already understood the enemies of the mind, the impurities of the mind. So, with that reference, we keep in mind, and then we start with the self inquiry. Example, somebody has a disease. Other people, say I have a illness, and so my honey, my son, my daughter will consult the doctor. They will ask, they will bring medicine for me. But I have to take medicine. Are you understanding? If I don't take medicine, or if I say, honey, I know that I'm suffering severely, and doctor has prescribed me 6 pills every day. So why don't you take 50% of the pills to take care of my disease? Not possible. Are you getting it? Now you take 3 pills and I will take 3 pills to treat my illness. So that is why the word self inquiry is coined by the master. Self inquiry. I have to do my inquiry myself. You can give me the money, you can give me the clothes, you can give me anything from the material world. But this self knowledge you cannot get without doing the self inquiry. You have to do it by yourself. Did you understand the phrase self inquiry? Self inquiry. So, self inquiry results into self knowledge. That is known as moksha, that is known as awakening. Is it possible that someone can help me in the self knowledge? The answer is no. So, what the hell you are doing? You can ask me if no one can help me. We should be very clear. So, unless we become the highest level of a seeker, a teacher acts as a representative of the Eastern wisdom, simply a representative. So he passes on that knowledge, and then your mind is engaged in the self-inquiry. So what happens if I become the highest level of a seeker? Every session, you receive the knowledge, you retain the knowledge, you realize the knowledge there and then. Did you get it? Obviously, it took me a couple of years while living with the master. I said, no, he is just, he's talking, he's crazy. He says there is no stress in life. How it is possible? Why my mind thinks like that? I have a lot of doubts. I don't have a conviction in the intellect. And that is why we have to continue the session until those doubts are removed. And the way the intellect gives the interpretation that leads me to the stress. No, 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 he is all right, but I live in stress. There's a doubt. Where? In the intellect. I must get rid of it. Are you getting it? So that is the way how we have to do the self-inquiry. I have to look at everything inside the head. Self-inquiry removes the ignorance. That is what is the meaning. Asatu ma satgamaya, tamasu ma sat, jyotirgamaya. Moving from, lead me from the ignorance to the knowledge, to the wisdom. That is what we have been doing, step by step approach to a complete knowledge. I think I discussed about it. Complete knowledge, you have no problem. Complete ignorance, ignorance is bliss. In deep sleep, you are not aware of the world, so the problem is not there. Problem and conflict is already always there with reference to the world outside. What is that word? People, place, relationship, condition. A millionaire is attending a session with me and he says, I have lot of problem of finances. I said, yes, I know that. I know that. Initially, he told me I have 5 houses. I have 3 cars. Okay, are you joking? So incomplete knowledge. Recently, last week, he sent me. I said, well, how to respond this guy? I should tell him, I should send him a big message that I live month by month. So this is a wrong notion. We have to get rid of it. Anyhow, I took him to the entire journey of the Gita in a different way. Then he realized he is very extremely wise, so he understands it. So now, just remembering what to remember. The I will just say, impurities, enemies, or the defects of the mind. What to do to purify the mind. So we have to get ready for the self discovery. This is what we also understood, that action only is not enough. Action must be supported by the knowledge of the real self on one side, and the knowledge of the false self. That is what we understood. And at the same time, we understood that the purity of the mind is essential in the journey of the self discovery. And we added that we should invoke the blessing, we should create an auspiciousness. Now I'm rephrasing it. We enter into auspiciousness, we don't create an auspiciousness. The impure mind cannot create it. How? By any mantra. Every day you wake up in the morning, just say, let me lead me from ignorance to wisdom, lead me from the false to the real self, so that your intellect will remind you to move ahead, to rise in awareness. And then we discussed about what are the impurities, the likes and dislikes. We discussed about the commander in chief that controls our entire life, with their siblings of likes and dislikes, with a desire, with an hesitation, struggle inside the mind, and followed by the repeat desire, which our master says greed, and uh, and uh, and the ego and the selfishness. And then we reach to a state of self-inquiry. So any topic that you miss, you have to refer to the previous sessions to think, contemplate, and reflect. And then we reach to, and I referred to the great master Maharshi Raman. You see that I am acting as a representative. Knowledge comes from there, and I'm passing on. One beautiful woman, Anastasia knows I don't want to name it. So she sent me an email message. I'm not telling you the fake stories, I'm telling you the real stories. Anastasia is a witness. She wrote to me, thank you very much for giving me the acquired knowledge. I'm not attending your session from today. I said, thank you very much, most welcome. So it's okay. Knowledge belongs to those teachers. You know what I have to do? You follow it by the self inquiry, you realize that knowledge which has been realized by the master, or you don't realize it. Anastasia, she sent some money to me. So, now coming to the self inquiry means do you remember? Constant attention to the inner awareness of the I thought or I ness recommended by this master. So, what will happen? I thought it would disappear. What will remain? Pure consciousness. But before that, what are the obstacles in the journey of the self inquiry we have to take up? And the first topic today during the self inquiry, we have to inquire what exactly is this sorrow? What exactly is this sorrow? What is happiness? Are you happy now? You- what exactly is the sorrow and what is happiness? So, first, I will read exactly the translation of this verse, what the master says, and then we will inquire, we will understand. When the notions, when the notion, when the idea, when a thought, that is what the notion is. So, master says, when this idea, that thought, that the world outside, that is the seen world, world of people, of relationship, of event, of situation, of birth rate, etc. Notion. I have a notion that the world outside is real, first, and that it is different from me, third, that both exist. Then I get a notion of happiness lies in it or sorrow lies in it. Are you getting it? I'm repeating again. First thing, my mind says this world is real, place is real, situation is real. It is constantly changing. That is why when we meet a person, he or she becomes a soulmate, and after a few weeks, it is changing. Soulmate. That's very clear. You use it for anything, you know. You buy a new car. First week is so good. You go out and you look around your neighbors, you know, nobody is looking at me, you know, what is this? I have a new car. Or I can go a little personal, you know. You spend $100 on your facial. What do we say? Facial? My honey doesn't do it, you know, so I don't remember. I don't know those things here. So, and then you go out, you know. If no one says you look beautiful, problem is there. In any situation, in any condition, in any event, in any relation, what I thought, the world is real. First aspect, the idea that this world is real. Second is that this world exists, which is constantly changing. These two things happens in the mind first, and then what happens? The third, expectation. Expectations. What is that expectation? How I will meet, for example, you know, I'm just joking. I'll meet Christina, I'll be happy. But Christina says, I don't have time. Did you understand that? So the happiness and the sorrow takes place in the mind in imagination because of the notion I have created in my mind, followed by an expectation. Tell me if it is wrong. Tell me if it is. You go to the mall and you see a, you know, we always refer, you know, girls are beautiful, you know, the women are beautiful. So you find a beautiful woman and you are very beautiful. And the women says, I'm married, you know. So I'm just helping you to explain, understand sorrow and happiness. You went to her, you made that remark to get happiness. And she did not say anything wrong. She simply said, I'm married. and you get upset. Did you understand that point? This is what the master is saying. First, I have a wrong notion that this entire world outside is real, that will give me peace and happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. I'm expanding that. Are you getting it? But if you simply appreciate the beauty, that is okay. So the self inquiry says, if Sam is handsome, so I must say, is really handsome. Are you not handsome? Say, yes, yes. I must say. But appreciation should not be added with expectation. That is the moment of self-inquiry. Do you see? This is what the master says. Let us expand little more. This word, Gita, we are going to cover that Gita. So Gita says this entire world outside, the universe outside, has three factors, constitutes the entire universe: time, place, object. That object includes people and the places. What is this event? This is an event. We are having a virtual session. People are there, place is there, time is there. Tell me, these three factors are always there in the world outside, without which the universe do not exist. And what is the world for us? Where is the world for us? I got married, but I have a problem. For 10 years, I lived my life. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, that millionaire. I have a lot of financial difficulties. So my mind started thinking in a just I had a phrase. Oh, is he thinking that he should not pay me? That is why he sent a message. Event. Are you getting it? Time, place, and object. Object includes people. So one person at a particular time, at a particular location, your location is house. The couple is living. Obviously, we know what is it. You cannot say that I'm living in your house and I'm your number one enemy. It is not possible. First thing, did you understand? First thing is the word. Second is what is the conclusion about the world? This world is in flux, is constantly changing. Now, so the master brings us closer to the self-inquiry. Whatever is seen, known, experienced is what? I see you. You are a world for me. You see me, I'm a world for you. I'm opening up that verse this master says. So the moment I see you, for example, instead of appreciating the world outside, which is going to help me to evolve, instead of appreciation, I start expecting. Why I expect? Because I see happiness in you. So when I talk to you, you are already in stress. so, so, but I keep loving you, so called, I'm getting attached to you. This is what the master is saying. Are you getting it? Understand it clearly. Why we experience and know sorrow and the happiness in the world. So, what happens? Can you guess from the last 18 or 19 session? This commander in chief with its sibling says, I like you, so I am attached to you, so I am seeking happiness within you, and you are already in stress. How you can give me stress? How can you give me happiness? Then I continue the journey. Oh, you have been stressed because I love you, so I will take care of you. So I am deeply attached. Are you understanding that? Don't don't mistake it. I will explain it a couple of times. I have an expectation for what? For peace and happiness and love. So I start the conversation. During the conversation, and you come out that you already have a stress. So what I do, I get deeply attached with you. I will take care of you. Why? I keep my expectations of peace and happiness. That commander in chief is working with a strong likes and dislikes. Because I liked you, I keep liking you. And one day in extreme stress, you say, hell with you, don't talk to me. All your dreams are shattered. I know this might have happened to you in one or the other way in your life. It happened to me. I should agree to it. But now I recognize it. Do you see the journey of the self-inquiry? We will cover that part, that how to build that relationship with everyone. It does not mean that I should not live in the world. It does not mean that I should go and commit suicide. Eastern wisdom is not talking about that. So we will understand the factors on which the relationship should be based. How? By the knowledge. By the knowledge. Do you still remember what we are talking about? Word, mind begins with the perception, another way to understand. And then we will do the practice. So our mind begins with the perception, and it continues to live in the right perception when the last 18-20 sessions you have really understood the enemies of the mind is not attacking the mind. What this means in a single phrase, you continue to live in a right perception without any projection. That projection is created by the commander in chief with its siblings of strong likes and dislikes, with desire of seeking peace and happiness from you. Why you? Because I claim that the world contains the property of peace and happiness in the world. I lived loveless life for 27 years. I will not name, that guy, otherwise he will sue me. I'm working with, Microsoft 365, He will say that I will not give you this 365. Understand this clearly. When you have that clarity, no projection means notion, idea, thought. So mind has a particular thought that this person at a particular time, in a particular situation, at a particular location, I created an event. Event belongs to the world, is the source of happiness. That is not. That is not. And if that continues, we will continue self-inquiry, self-inquiry. Commander-in-chief and its armies continues to haunt us. That is what is impulsive, instinctive, habitual life. That is what the split personality is. I don't want to compare with psychological illnesses. Otherwise, these psychiatrists and psychologists will not spare me. Think. Last point that I want to cover, and then I will also cover this topic again. But if you ask the ultimate cause, so your mind, intellect may say that yes, you are right in that sense of expectation and projection, and creating a wrong notion the world and the universe outside is the source of peace and happiness. But what is the ultimate cause? Do you know when did you decide to be born with a particular parents in a particular country, in a particular family? You did not decide. So our birth was in ignorance. Our birth was in ignorance. We have no right to say anything against our parents. It was totally an unconscious. Are you understanding that? We were born in ignorance. We continued our life in ignorance. Then what happened? Our parents conditioned because they don't know. So they conditioned our life. Then the teachers in the school conditioned our life. Society conditioned our life. Culture conditioned our life. Religion conditioned our life. And we continued living unconsciously, habitually, instinctively, claiming that we are intelligent. And there the Eastern wisdom comes and it says, do you know that you have a real self and you have a false self? Nobody gives that knowledge. Are you getting it? Eastern wisdom says you have two self, two I, and the false I is causing all the problem. Can you shift your life from the false I to the real I? If you take this message, only one message of the entire Eastern wisdom, find out who am I. So the moment you shift, move from the false I to the real I, sorrow and the happiness in relationship to the world dissolves completely. It has no meaning at all. What do you find? Your consciousness inside. We'll talk in detail. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed and make your body comfortable. Comfort is coming from the real I. Comfort is natural. It is not a practice. But what happened? Our society, our culture has so deep conditioning. It says, no, you can be comfortable. Take, what we say, take a lemon water, you feel comfortable. Sleep, but I'm not getting a sleep. How can I feel comfortable? So there the master says, understand, my friend, comfort is a state of awareness. Eyes are closed. You are looking at the entire body. You're just looking. You're not doing anything. Move the mind on the entire body from the top of the head to the toes. You experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The mind still moving within. It is rising awareness. I made it clear. And then you see the space. The space is awareness, and awareness is the space. Do you see what this master says? That's why I brought this topic. This master says I should pay constant attention 24/7 in the waking state of that I which is within until this I dissolves. What I dissolves? The false I. What we did in being comfortable. I'm bringing you what we discuss. We bring that journey to a state of realization. Now being carefree, yes, free from. Now you instantly your mind goes to the lane one, being carefree from the unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. Any thought, every thought has to do with the world outside. From there springs sorrow, happiness, pain, pleasure, likes, dislikes, attachment, detachment. So that is what unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. If you become unconscious, if you miss my words in the form of the instruction, your mind is engaged in unwelcome, unwanted thoughts. So you may say, no, I have a lot of stress. That is what it is. The stress you recognize by the thought only. Thought gives you that feeling. So that is also the unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. But what we are doing nothing. We are shifting to the lane two. We are an observer. We are an observer of these thought, feelings, sensations, experiences that is constantly taking place in the mind. The moment you are an observer, you are a witness. Can you see love? Can you see attachment? Do you feel attachment? Yes. Do you feel love? That is what the observer is. Oh, that is what it is. We should never forget in the journey to enter into the auspiciousness. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. We are doing in 3 steps of this auspiciousness. We are reciting the mantra mentally, then we know the meaning, and then we do the self-inquiry. That is the meaning of extracting the knowledge from this mantra. So the meaning is let everyone be happy. Now see what happens. It's a summary of the entire talk. All the 4 steps of this mantra gives you. What is that? Happiness is my essential nature. My essential nature lives within me, not in the world outside. Is it not the summary? That is why we need a teacher. Oh, no, but what about others? Come on, you are a living species. So everyone, every living every living species has the property, has an essence of happiness. Oh, they all are seeking happiness, yes. Why they don't get it? Because of ignorance. So I return my focus on myself. Let me go with it. Done. But what is the outer statement? Let everyone be happy. So, what is the journey of the self inquiry? The inquiry is that everyone, happiness is the essential nature of everyone. That is the essence. I will go into 5 steps. We are doing the 3 steps now. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Let there be peace for everyone. You see, outer expression is different. but it takes us to the point where peace consciousness is me. So the peace consciousness is you also. So the peace is essential nature of all the living species. I have repeated n number of times that you observe any living species, including the COVID virus, was seeking peace, entering into the human body through multiplication. Living species. But that they don't know they are doing the harm. We have an intellect, we can separate that. Not to harm anyone around us and not to harm us. What is that word? Is the compassion. Sarvesham, sarvesham, purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Purnam, completeness. A very deep message in the verse that we discussed today is hidden. Why I am seeking peace and happiness from the world outside at a particular time and a location with an object and a person? Because I feel a sense of incompleteness in myself. So the master says, you only seek peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom from the world outside, from a person or a situation or a condition or an event or from a vacation, because you first declared that I'm incomplete in myself. I believe you get it. But what about real self is complete in itself? That is the message. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Let there be auspiciousness for all. Why auspiciousness? Existence, because of which we exist, gives us an opportunity of auspiciousness to realize the real self that we miss every time. Looking deep inside the forehead, Om Shanti. Gently you say Om Shanti, there is a space, Om Shanti, there is a space. And now start breathing from the chest through the nostrils, both the nostrils, expansion of the chest and chest continue, expansion and contraction. It's gentle, you're more conscious. You are doing the breathing at a higher consciousness level. What it means, why I said this? Mind will not pose any restrictions, any limitations. The mind will not stop. Mind will not create disharmony. It will continue breathe in a rhythmic fashion. That is what we want. Continue. And stop it. Do nothing. Do you remember? Recognize, accept, remain aware of the changes, experiences taking place at this moment. We have no likes and dislikes. We have no preferences. We are just examining. That is the meaning of what this master says: maintain an awareness and attention on the I inside. Continue with the Om Shanti. Start with the belly breathing now. It's a longer breath. You fill the air into your belly, expands like a balloon. You squeeze it. Long breath into the belly, least movement into the rib cage. I'll tell you why we do that as we continue our journey, my friends. We are still doing for 3 minutes. And 3 minutes, even it is not a minimum time. Normally, in Tantra tradition, it is 9 minutes. You may be having unusual experiences, you recognize them, you accept them. That is very important, my friends. Now stop it, recognize and accept the changes. Doing nothing. I have to tell you one thing that is coming to my mind. Your nostrils are blocked and you keep on doing it. You push your mind to follow the practice. The time will come every time you do the practice, your mind becomes aware and it will stop blocking the nostrils. Keep on doing Om Shanti and start breathing both from the belly and the chest together, long, deep in the hissing breath. Long, deep in the hissing breath. 3 minutes, both with the belly. First, you inhale into the belly, then you continue inhaling into the rib, or I can say that you expand the balloon You expand the belly like a balloon first, follows the rib cage. You exhale from the belly. First, you squeeze the belly, and from the I'll be adding a couple of more finer steps. Why finer steps? To help us rise in awareness. No worries, you do it only for 3 minutes. I always keep the stopwatch. If your mind is thinking otherwise. And stop it. Do nothing. Recognize, accept the changes. So, the same Eastern wisdom, it is the same, the Tantra principle that says if you keep on doing, provided consciously, bypassing the resistance posed by the mind, what happens? Your both the nostrils gets opened and it has the same rhythm, same speed of the breath. So Tantra moves in another direction. So we are not going there. So now look inside the cave of your heart, the triangle, equilateral triangle of any color, moving the mind on each side, dropping Om Shanti clockwise and anti-clockwise, and checking if it is syncing. You find a perfect sync of three-pointed awareness. Do you remember movement of the mind on the side, awareness of the side, Om Shanti? You find the sync. You move the mind, singing Om, moving the mind from the center of a triangle to keep that awareness. Shanti, and absorbed into the state. What is that absorption which our master said? Until this I dissolves. We have to do it again and again and again and again. Until what time you know it. And leave this japa om shanti. Mind's eye, mind's touch, mind's tongue, mind's ear. They are doing the work. In one of the texts, Master says, when the senses withdraws from the objects of the world, when the senses are withdrawn in the mind, that is the second step we are doing. Then the mind is withdrawn, then the intellect is withdrawn, then the I-ness is withdrawn. What is left is the pure consciousness, that is our real self. And this can happen by this step also. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So when you do by yourself by listening to the audio at your home, the last step, even when I say conclude this session and your mind says, no, let me live into that. So live into that state for as long as possible. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down. Know your experiences. We'll share our experiences. Let us start with David and Jerry.
Thank you, sir. Very, very peaceful, very focused. Couple of little distractions in the background, and nothing deterred me from just having this amazing focus. So it was great. Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You see that the mind moves smoothly. There is no obstruction. There are no challenges posed by the mind. The knowledge is centered. That is why there are no challenges.
You can,
Wonderful.
you can hear the distractions.
Even the distraction is there, it doesn't cause any, because I know distraction is not going to give me any piece of sorrow and happiness. They are just there, so let it be there. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you. The mind is very settled in that just believes. I guess I really believe that our peace is within us, and the truth and the wisdom and all of that is within. And so nothing on the outside can affect that. So we just have to share that. So when we live with that knowledge, and also, so like you said, we don't have any preconceived notions about anything, then that gives us a tremendous freedom.
Beautiful, beautiful. Once the intellect has a conviction that this peace and happiness are with it, there is no one in the world, no event, no condition, no person can dare to put me into distress, if I use that word. So, but we should have that conviction, and that is why we have started the self-inquiry. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. Microphone sounds great, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Uh,
That's good. I will use that.
the self-inquiry is extremely powerful. What I'm seeing and understanding about it more so than anything else is that it requires and applies all the principles of everything that you've taught us,
You're right.
and everything about the notions, the perceptions, the potential of sorrow and suffering is truly necessary to know what I am and what I am not. And I understand that comes with that comes with self-inquiry, but it all is really measured against your desires and your ego. And if going through that whole process and then reapplying all those principles, it just becomes really clear. And that led to a very, very peaceful meditation for me. And it was quick and again, struggled to come out. But
Beautiful.
it's almost like I'm cued that as soon as you start chanting, it's like, okay, start pulling yourself out because you may not get out of this.
Wonderful and beautiful. You see that every person's intellect perceives these principles, and everybody's mind picks up one principle. And you pick up any one principle because you already have an understanding of others, it will follow you. It will follow you. So that is what the Stephen says, that what I am and what I am not. And the moment you do the self-inquiry of what I am, other principles follows you. And you live into. That is why it becomes difficult for him to return from the meditation. How are you, Brandy?
Morning, I'm good, thank you. Like everybody that's shared out so far, at some point during the meditation, it occurred to me that you really it really is split personality, so to speak, to say you're in stress, but also be a peaceful existence, like the same as you said, being a millionaire, but having all these financial problems. And it was just really clear to me at one point. I'm like, so if I'm in stress, then I'm not in peace. Then I'm not in stress. And I know that sounds obvious, but it's not that obvious. So
Yes, that's a wonderful metaphor. I am a trillionaire. Why? Because my nature is peace and happiness. That's what I don't recognize. That is the problem. And you rightly use the word split personality. It has nothing to do with understanding of the modern psychology. It has to do with the Eastern wisdom. I am in anxiety. That is a split personality. Can you declare I am not? You are free. But to declare I am not, to live into that state, demands a journey. Journey of the Eastern wisdom. Beautiful. How are you, Christina? Welcome.
Good morning.
You returned from Portugal?
Yes, last night.
Last
Yes.
night.
Yes. So I felt a long period of complete separateness from my body.
Good.
And yeah, that sense of just being consciousness. Yeah.
That is beautiful. You see that any point you pick up, and you have a realization, you have an understanding, I'm not the body. So that is what the separation, why they are already separate. Matter and consciousness cannot go together. So but why they are going together? Because of ignorance. What we are doing, self-inquiry. Why we are doing self-inquiry? To separate it. And that was your experience. Beautiful. How are you, Barbara? Oh, Sam. Let us go to the Sam first. Yeah. If I don't
Thank you
care.
for calling me handsome.
Yeah. Now, if I don't invite handsome first, then I will be in a problem. So.
Yeah, I'm the most handsome. No, lesson was great. Feeling like, I'm able to slowly apply the principles better and better every day. I feel like, one thing you've always told us to do is to see how long our peace can last after meditation, and that's lengthening. And the meditation was great itself today.
Beautiful, beautiful. Keep on applying until you reach to the highest state. It's a wonderful to see. How are you, Terry?
I had a little better
Little
uh,
better. Okay.
sync, my synchronization
Okay.
with the breath and the Shanti.
Shanti. Good.
Was better than usual. A little
Beautiful.
progress.
I have to make one statement about you.
Okay.
Because whenever we have any kind of a suffering related to body, mind, then our practice should be intense, repeat practice. So when you are repeating the practice, the pressure of the illness drops down and the resources of the practice goes up. So when this becomes an imbalance, the pressure of the illness is here and the resources are above, you are free from the illness. That is required because we may need only one practice. You need 5 times.
I'm doing
And you have time.
Well, I'm doing my best.
Yes, yes, do it.
Probably not. Yes, I
Good. How are you, Barbara?
I'm very good, thank you. I didn't have any thoughts at all during the entire meditation, and it just kept getting deeper and deeper, and I saw this like wonderful pure white light.
That's beautiful.
And I really wanted to stay there. Really, if I was doing it on my own, I think I would have been there a long, long time.
Long time. I'm already sending you the audio file. You do it. White light in Tantra represents a higher awareness and a higher consciousness. Or you can say it is in the level of pure consciousness. Beautiful, Barbara. We all are in the same journey. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. Sir, I'm good. Mine was smooth. When I'm not chasing anything, then mind is free. It is like it's going in a smooth and stationary, and it's good.
No past problems?
No, sir.
Beautiful. Wonderful. That is why I want to be sure. I will ask, how are you, Sangeeta?
सर बहुत पीसफुल था बहुत दिनों बाद हुआ तो बहुत अच्छा लगा
Oh, you are a millionaire and you are getting peace after so many days.
Sir, I was not feeling well. Even
Uh,
your busy period.
that is why I'm asking you. इतना होने के बाद भी she is not feeling well physically. Yes, I will tell you later on. So why we will come to anesthesia. I want to make a remark for anesthesia first. Can I do that? I don't hear you.
Yes.
Yes. You know, she is translating one session English in Ukrainian. There is another Ukrainian session where around 10-15 people join. So she attends that session. So 2 sessions that and 3 sessions here. Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. But the beauty of this girl is that she contemplates and reflects. So 5 hours every day with me, and she contemplates and reflects. And that's how she sends me the messages almost every week. So what I wanted to say that the same practice, you listen to the same talk, and even if you repeat it a couple of times, it is going to help you a great deal. Now, anesthesia.
Thank you. Thank you for this possibility to be with you and with you all. It's a saving life chance. So my meditation was very deep, and my mind today had a lot of thoughts, but I was a little bit deeper, and I'm understanding now this commitment to the peace and happiness, and that this is the most important thing to go direction, because desires, they can be lucrative and sparkling, but the same way they destroy the peace. And if the peace is destroyed, like, if I can say like this, there is no happiness. Like, you can have second or third cup of coffee, it's pleasure, but then you get dull skin, it's suffering. And so, yeah, thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. You made one, I want to repeat that remark. Desires are sparkling. They glitters more than permanent peace and happiness. I have to choose one. All that glitters is not gold. I have to pick up the one. But anesthesia, you have to thank each one here, and also specifically David and Jerry, who have been contributing. In turn, I am able to volunteer all the 3 sessions. Thank you very much.
You.
Yeah, she is nice. Don't make a bad sense of it. If Sam is handsome and anesthesia is beautiful, it's just an appreciation. The women should not get upset. All women are beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.